interest in renewable energy, and we think Maldives is very ripe for this. And we also have a lot of European and American concerns now wanting to explore possibilities of renewable energy in the Maldives, and we would like to see the same with respect to Indian companies. I suppose two issues that we should really be concerned here is Islamic fundamentalism, the rise in Islamic fundamentalism in the Maldives, and also to a certain extent the possibility of climatic or environmental refugees. We should be mindful that Maldives can sink, the environment can change, and these are realities now. And we should be aware of that, and we should have solid understandings I'm certain you will not be able to stand here in India and watch 300,000 people die. That won't be possible. So I'm sure you will have contingencies, you will have measures on what you would do in such an eventuality. Of course, what we want to see is that we don't get to this hot point, that we survive at any rate, but we should be mindful of these doomsday scenarios as well. There is growing Islamic fundamentalism. Again, I'm sorry, we charge President Gayoom on these issues, continuously talking about religion and always making every single of his speech sounding like a sermon, and the fact that he goes on Friday prayers and give these prayers and present himself as part of the clergy has definitely contributed towards Islamic fundamentalism. Now, a lot of people say that Gayoom is not an Islamic fundamentalist. Oh, he might not be. He probably will not believe in many of these things that Wahhabis are advocating. But because he behaves in this manner, as he is the top clergy, that pushes people and ideas towards Islamic fundamentalistic forms. We think that this should be stopped. We think that there is another Maldives, there is another country, there is another ideal, people who want to live a more freer life. Gradually, we are seeing that these tendencies are increasing. Mr. Zuhair mentioned foreign workers in the Maldives. Yes, we have a very big expatriate community, and that community is bound to increase. I mean, it's difficult to see, while we advocate for labor laws, human rights, better working conditions and so on, it's impossible to keep quiet about the same conditions for expatriate workers. They have a very hard life. They have a very tough life. And we don't want to continue, we don't want to see this goes on. We need to have proper regulations and proper laws that would allow us to take care of our expatriate workers. We need them. They are there for the development of our country, and they do a very good job at it. Of course, we need to train our own people, and we need to make use of our own labor force. But at the same time, we would always need your assistance from the people of India. Presently, there is a major fear that there might be a food shortage in the country. I also understand that there is a growing food security problem, perhaps all throughout Asia. But we should be mindful of what might happen to tiny Maldives if there is no rice available. Prices are increasing rapidly. Everyone keeps saying that it's an international phenomena. Government here keeps saying that it's an international phenomena, and in the Maldives as well. But the fact of the matter is the prices are rising, and that can create an adverse effect. I'm sure you are also aware that the World Bank and IMF are at our doorsteps. They want structural adjustments. We've mismanaged the economy for the last 30 years, and they've assisted in mismanaging the economy for the last 30 years. And now, when it comes to the crunch, they want adjustments and structuring. Yes, we do believe that we need adjustments and structuring, but I would like the banks and the fund to also own up to the fact that they kept quiet about what was going on in the Maldives all throughout these years. And then when at the 11th hour, it's extremely unfair on the people of the Maldives to come up and then just simply raise taxes, reduce subsidies, and so on and so forth. You would also be aware that more than 50% of our national income is derived through import duties, through imbalanced trade. We don't want to have an economy or a country based on import duties. We would want to have more fairer taxes, more fair direct taxes instead of indirect taxes. So therefore, Zaki mentioned the SAARC commitments on free trade. We would push for it, we would reduce import duties, and we would allow Indian imports to flood into the country, and we think that that would benefit both economies, both the Kerala economy and the Maldives economy. All in all, we would like to see more assistance and more help from India. We've visited the country many times throughout our last 4 years. The last 4 years have been particularly hard. We've had to live abroad, live in exile for a long time. We've been chased, we've been sought after, and all sorts of things done to us. But we are glad that we've been able to go back to the Maldives, form our party, started recruiting membership for the party. We've had party institutions built, and we are now moving towards the first multi-party election. Mr. Afif pointed out that Gayoom is refusing to ratify the constitution. Now Maldives law says that the president will finally have to go through the process of ratification, which is really a ceremonial requirement, because the House has passed all the laws and all the principles of the constitution. So it's just simply a ceremonial issue where the president ratifies the constitution. Now the president is refusing to ratify this constitution. We would need a lot of international assistance if he were to ratify this constitution anytime soon. We would like the Indian government to impress upon the government of Maldives and the president in a language that they can understand to ratify the constitution. The House has passed it, so it's just a formality, and therefore we hope that the Indian government would impress upon the government of Maldives the need to ratify the constitution, and we hope to see this new constitution ratified by the time we go back on the 12th. Now, if the constitution is not ratified and if it stays with Gayoom for long periods of time, that can create a lot of instability. We don't want to go there. We don't want to see that. We want to change this through the ballot and a free and fair election. And I sincerely hope that we will be able to achieve that the president would ratify the constitution and go ahead with these elections. But as I keep saying this, I cannot see how he will be doing that without some Indian assistance. Thank you very much.